Welcome to the Watchman. I'm excited about this devotional that I'm going to be sharing with you. It's entitled David's Mighty Men, Warriors of Loyalty, Courage, and Faith. In the days of King David, as he rose to power and faced many battles, betrayals, and blessings, he was never alone. God surrounded him with a group of extraordinary warriors known as David's Mighty Men, a band of courageous, loyal, and skilled fighters who stood with David through his most difficult trials. We find this in 2 Samuel chapter 23, verses 8 all the way down through 39. It starts with, "These are the names of the mighty men whom David had." These men didn't just fight battles, they lived lives marked by devotion, valor, and their faith. Their stories are found here, not just here, but also in 1 Chronicles chapter 11. They're not just history, they're an inspiration. They're inspiration for how we can live as warriors in God's kingdom as well. Now, there's different tiers of his mighty warriors. Some were elevated to higher positions than others, but these were all mighty men. There's some points here that I want to just emphasize as we dig deep into this section of Scripture. First is loyalty in all seasons. Loyalty in all seasons. These men followed David when he was a fugitive, not just when he was king. We need to stand with Christ in our hardship, not just in our blessings. Loyalty matters most when it's tested. Revelations chapter 2, verse 10 says, "Be faithful, even to the point of death, and I will give you life as your victor's crown." The second is courage in the face of fear. They faced impossible odds, yet they fought and won. God calls us also to stand boldly in a world that often opposes his truth. Courage is not the absence of fear, but obedience in the face of it. Joshua 1:9 says, "Be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." The next point, fighting for the small things. Shammah fought for a field of lentils, but God honored it. See, three mighty men even broke through a Philistine stronghold for a cup of water for David. So what can we get from this? Be faithful even in the little things, whether it's serving, encouraging, or staying obedient in simple, small ways. It all matters to God. Luke chapter 16, verse 10 says, "Whoever can be trusted with every little thing can also be trusted with much blessings." The next, knowing when to stand alone. Many of David's warriors stood alone in battle. They didn't wait for others to step up. When the world stays silent, Christians need to speak truth. When others retreat, we need to hold the line. Ephesians chapter 6, verses 13 to 14. "After you have done everything to stand, stand firm then." That is what we're called to do. Going over to 1 Chronicles chapter 11, verse 10, to kind of finish this off in the other passage here, we have another point, fighting together, not alone. See, yes, they fought alone sometimes, but it's also important to fight together. Though some stood alone, they weren't isolated. David had a team of warriors around him. The church is our battalion. We need each other for strength, support, and accountability. Ecclesiastes 4:12 says, "Though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of three strands is not quickly broken." See, David's mighty men can remind us a lot of our own King, Jesus. See, David's mighty men were committed to an earthly king. We serve the eternal King, Jesus. Where they risked their lives, Jesus gave his life. Where they won battles, Jesus won the ultimate war over sin and death. Where they stood beside David, We walk with Christ and fight spiritual battles on a daily basis. 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 3 says, "Endure hardship as a good soldier of Christ." So to take away from this, number one, you need to ask yourself, am I living with the same kind of loyalty to Jesus that these men showed to David? Secondly, what small field am I called to defend in my life, or something others might overlook? Also, am I standing firm when others are retreating, or do I go with the crowd? Who are the mighty men and women God has placed in your life to fight beside you? And then finally, am I willing to be the one of Jesus' mighty warriors no matter the cost? See, these mighty men were surrounding David. They were his battalion. We are the Lord's battalion, the church. And we need to stand firm. We need to be strong, just as these mighty men did back here. So I hope you are encouraged by these mighty men of King David. And until next time, take care, God bless, and be strong.